Welcome to Outside the Jungle, where you can get all the latest Komet news you could ever want. I'm your host, Shane Albarani, and this week we review with head coach Ben Boudreau all the latest player signings, and there's been a bunch. We'll also go back to November 23rd when the Wheeling Nailers were in town, play along with some Komets trivia, and of course, Mr. Bob Chase will close out the show. But before we talk to Ben Boudreau, let's review the latest batch of player signings, starting with defenseman Kyle Haas, who led the ECHL in penalty minutes last season. Haas was also the recipient of the Komets' Most Improved Player Award. Now, goaltender Stefanos Lekas followed a 4-year collegiate career with the University of Vermont. With playing one game for the Komets last season, the 6-foot netminder won his pro debut, giving up 2 goals versus Wichita in a 7-2 win over the Thunder on March 11th at the Coliseum. During his senior season at Vermont, Lekas recorded 4 shutouts and became Hockey East's all-time saves leader, ranking him 5th all-time in NCAA history with 3,913 saves. Defenseman and Fort Wayne native Blake Siebenaller was drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the 3rd round of the 2014 NHL entry draft. The right-hander started his pro career in the AHL with Cleveland, logging 83 games with the Monsters over 3 seasons. Siebenaller scored a career-high 9 goals and added 17 assists with the Wheeling Nailers last season. Forward Matt Bowdens will return for his 2nd season with the Komets. Bowdens scored 10 goals with 94 penalty minutes in his first pro season. He also skated 10 games with Chicago of the AHL. Forward Tommy Beaudois has signed a tryout agreement. And finally, welcome to Fort Wayne defensemen Matt Murphy and Marcus McIver. Both of these guys were teammates with Matt Bowdens at the University of New Brunswick, and we'll hear all about how head coach Ben Boudreau plans on reuniting the former teammates, along with details about all the other signings coming up right after this.
Season tickets for the 69th season of Komet Hockey are on sale now. No lines, no fees, no hassles, and all the fun. Right now, you can save up to 25% off walk-up pricing on prime seat locations. See every home game and receive exclusive season ticket holder benefits like ticket exchange nights, future season location upgrades, and discounts on souvenirs and merchandise. Act now to save big and join the greatest fan base in the ECHL. Call the Komet office or visit komets.com/tickets and join the crowd.
Lots of Komet news this week, so who do we go to get all of the current going on? It's Coach Ben Boudreau, because he has been a very, very busy man. Benny, let's first talk about what happened last week. You had 3 big ones last week, starting with Kyle Haas. You call him the sheriff, and now he's back policing the blue line.
That's one of the biggest things. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him where he isn't ear to ear with a smile. You know, it's honestly, it's a pleasure to talk with him all the time. But here's a guy that came in last year, and we liked him right from the first conversation because he said, you know, I don't care. I'm just going to find a way to prove it to you. And he's coming off a great tenure at the University of Windsor, captain. You know, one of the best captains in all of Canadian University, and he didn't do anything but besides put his head down and work for us. And he let us play through the talking, quite honestly. So when he came out there, everybody knows he's going to be a physical presence, and you know, when he's in the lineup, everybody has to be aware of what he's doing out on the ice. But outside of that, and we all know the fans come to love him for that style of play, and we know how far that goes with the fans here in Fort Wayne. But the things he does that people don't notice, just how good of a defensive defenseman he is. You know, somebody who knows his role and understands that he's trying to do the best to keep the puck out of the net, you know, instead of wanting to go out there and put up 50 points. He understands who he is. So it's invaluable to this organization to have people like that go out there and play their role to a T, and we have that in Kyle Haas.
And he led the league in penalty minutes as a rookie, and that was actually pretty cool.
100%. And he was suspended for a good portion of the season. So
yeah.
I'm sure if he played those games, he would have been able to add to the total too. So, you know, there was a lot of fireworks last year. And every time you look back, you like to think that Haas is right in the middle. So he brought a lot of excitement to the fans. And I know for you know, a hockey-starved community like Fort Wayne is right now, these are big-time off-season signings, so we got a lot to look forward to.
And you get the luxury this year of actually signing a goaltender. Your guy, Stefanos Lekas, a guy who came in, ended the season. He played 1 game, the final game of the regular season. He was impressive, and we've had this conversation where if this guy's 2 or 3 inches taller, we're not even having this conversation because he's probably not in the ECHL. So, but he's got the skill. So I hate using the word undersized, but that's the way goalies used to be made. You know, Pokey Reddick was undersized. Jeff Lurg, who Comet fans might know, the same. And so I liken him to a Jeff Lurg type player. He's got the skills.
100%. And let's face it, he's undersized compared to today's modern NHL. You know, when every single goalie's 6'3", 6'4", hulking. A 6'2" goalie is undersized these days in the NHL. So the fact he's generously listed at 6 foot, I mean, is still undersized in the modern era. But listen, you can't argue with results, and that's all Steph has ever done. And I think everywhere in his career, all the way back to his junior days in the USHL, everybody said this guy's a small goalie, but you know, he's won everywhere he's gone. He's won championships. He's gotten awards and nominations, and he continues to prove every single doubter wrong. And I don't know why that would ever stop in Fort Wayne. So we wanted to take an opportunity to bring him in, and it wasn't the easiest decision because we already had 2 NHL contract goalies come in here, but we wanted to give him a shot, and we brought him in here and did just that. And I think he turned everybody's head just in that 1-7-2 game against Wichita. But he made the saves he was supposed to make. He made some saves that he wasn't supposed to make. He was quick. He was impressive, and he left us wanting more. And that was the big reason we went out and to get him. We believe that this guy can be a great goalie in our league, and he left you wanting more, which is something that we look back on this season, and we need that to be as consistent as it's ever been for us next year, and we believe that Steph is capable of doing that for us.
And finally, the last signing of last week was a big one. Blake Siebenthaler coming back to Fort Wayne. He's from Fort Wayne, so he's adding to the list of Kaylee Schrock and Colin Chin as guys who are from Fort Wayne, finally playing for the Komets. Here's a guy with AHL experience, played in Wheeling. He's a defenseman, and he's a right-handed shot.
Yeah, I actually, when did an article in the paper, I referred to him as a unicorn type player because they just don't come along that often, and if they do come along, they don't stay. So, you know, throw in the fact that he's a hometown kid, I mean, it's a perfect situation just for Komets fans and our organization alike. So we know that going into this offseason, our defensive game, our defensive personnel, they needed to be upgraded, and we start off the summer with a guy like Blake Siebenthaler, a right shot guy that can play any position 200 feet up and down the ice. So that's a huge signing for us to start this summer, and I can't underestimate how big of a start that is to rebuild that back end. So the fact that you've got a great player alone is huge. The fact that you've got a great player with a great personality, a great teammate, is even better. And then you throw that into the mix that he's homegrown and a Fort Wayne product. It's going to make every single fan that comes to the building every single night excited to cheer on one of their own. And I'm happy to be on the bench and witness that experience. So I often told Blake too, I was a witness last year when Schrocky's being inducted into the Comet Hockey Hall of Fame, and who knows, this is day one of where you go. It might be 1 year, it might be longer, who knows, but I'm excited to take the journey with him. So we're both looking forward to it.
And you've made defense a priority this offseason, and that again proved that today. 2 big guys coming in, McIver and Murphy. They're being reunited with Matt Bowdens, who also signed today. So you've got 8 national championships, Canadian national championships, between 3 guys.
If we stepped up to the plate in a home run derby for these guys, we're batting 1,000 right now, Shane. I mean, you know, let's all face it. It's one thing to get excited about players and the puck hasn't dropped or anything, but it's fun. It's fun to be excited about guys and what they've done and what they're supposed to do here. So if we break it down, these 2 guys that are born, you know, it seems like they're born champions. I mean, they're huge impact players. I mean, these guys are going to be instrumental in our success this year, and we've tried to convey that in a message that they're not coming in hoping to crack a lineup, but they're going to be relied upon to play huge minutes and huge key roles for us because they're capable of doing that. And they're not 21-year-old rookies. These guys are in their mid-20s. They're mature players, and it might be their first professional hockey season, but they've been playing great hockey for years. And when it comes to character and everything away from the ice, they're 10 out of 10 from what their coaches have said and agents alike and friends, former players and teammates. So I couldn't be more excited to get these guys on boards and reunite Bowdens with them.
So same line, I'm guessing? Is that the initial idea?
Yeah, Murphy and McIver played together as a defense pairing for years. I mean, they're very familiar with each other. So if you come into a situation that might be new for the first time in 4 or 5 years, I mean, how comfortable do you feel if you've got somebody on your side that you're already familiar with, you're already comfortable with, you've got that relationship? I think it's going to be a big time advantage for them to come in and at least start, at least with together. And so, and for Bouds, we knew that we saw him play every single position last year. So there might be a time where we put all 3 of them in a defensive situation with 2 forwards, or Bouds may be a goalie for us next year. I don't know. So I just know, like, when you talk to all 3 these guys, you sense that relationship. And if we put a priority on character and what it means to be a Comet, I mean, all 3 of these guys are so excited. You can tell they're going to be great teammates and already add to a stellar lineup of people that we have inside those walls. So, like I said, when we're batting 1,000, I mean, it's more or less what's the word I'm trying to say right now? I'm trying to compare it to something, but we're just really excited about the type of people that we have, both for what they bring on the ice, but off the ice as well. And last year, when Olivier and I sat in our room, our coach's room with David, we had a lot of top priority defense prospects that we saw that we lost free agent recruiting battles to. Now, we won a lot of free agent recruiting battles up front, but we saw our defensive battles we kind of lost. This year, we start with guys like Blake. That's a huge signing. These 2 players, McIver and Murphy, unbelievable signings. So the fact that we've won 3 priority defensive battles in recruiting to start the summer is huge news, and it's a big-time boost, which gets us excited because we knew it was a priority, and so far we're having success with the people that we've targeted. So it's great news today in Cometland to get some of these big end players.
And right now, you're really ahead of the game as far as other teams signing players. It's almost like Fort Wayne is making a statement to the ECHL right now.
It might look like that way, but like I said, if we have a plan of certain players, and if we can get them, I don't care if it's in June, July, August, September, if we can get them, we're going to go ahead and get them. It's just so happened that I think the longer wait without hockey, you have players wanting to commit a little bit early, and I'll tell you, Olivier and I are hungry. We want to win. We're not going to sit back. We haven't earned the right to put our feet up in an off season and kind of just fall by the wayside and hope everything comes back in full. I mean, we're young and hungry and dedicated, and we've got to prove ourselves that we belong here, and we're going to make sure that we get the best players to fill any kind of void that we had last year. So the fact that we've had these signings and things are going well right now, we just need to start hockey. So that's our next biggest step. We're really excited with these guys. We just want to make sure the puck drops.
Now, you called Blake Siemendahler the unicorn.
Yeah.
Now, what mythic creature would you call me?
Oh geez, there's a few. I just got to come up with a good one. We had a couple good ones over the season. I got to write these down so when you put me on the spot. Like your hair right now, I'm going to say the silver fox, or something.
The mythic creature.
Yeah, the silver fox. Do those even exist?
They do now.
Yeah, they do now. Signing off, the silver fox.
Well, Benny, this is fantastic news. I'm sure the fans are very happy. They're hungry to get hockey back, but they're probably going to be really excited to see the team that you're putting together, because right now, you look at this roster, right now as we sit, just going into July is already impressive.
It's been impressive. It's been great so far that we've gotten the guys that we need to get in here. And I'd be remiss to say, this isn't the team that I'm putting together. I want to say that everything that we do here has been a family at the Komets for 31 years under Frankie ownership, and David is in there side by side with us and Olivier every single day. To say this is a team, that I'm putting together would not be right, because we're all a big family. We all want the same thing, so we're in here all trying to work for a common goal, and that's why it's great. These people all work together. It's open arms, and for my first summer to ever spend a full summer in the United States, this is a great city to spend it in with the family. It's fun to come into work every day and talk about the sport you love doing, and that's why we're just having so much fun right now, because things are going well. So, out of all the negativity out there in the world, it's great to be a Komet fan right now, because I think there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to.
There you go, Coach Ben Boudreau. Head coach Ben Boudreau making his second appearance on Outside the Jungle. And while we were discussing player signings with Ben, we received some breaking news. The Komets have signed Marco Waugh. Yes, Marco Waugh will make his return to Fort Wayne after one season with the Idaho Steelheads. The forward was sent to Idaho to complete the Justin Kia trade after the completion of the 2018-2019 season. Last season for the Steelheads, Waugh scored 10 goals with 40 assists in 55 games. He also skated 10 games with the Laval Rocket of the AHL. In two previous seasons with the Komets, Waugh racked up 74 points in 74 games. Next up on the show, the highlight portion. We go back to November 23rd when the Wheeling Nailers were in town. Then after the highlights, get ready to play some Komet trivia, and it's all coming up right after this.
Season tickets for the 69th season of Komet Hockey are on sale now. No lines, no fees, no hassles, and all the fun. Right now, you can save up to 25% off walk-up pricing on prime seat locations. See every home game and receive exclusive season ticket holder benefits like ticket exchange nights, future season location upgrades, and discounts on souvenirs and merchandise. Act now to save big and join the greatest fan base in the ECHL. Call the Komet office or visit komets.com/tickets and join the crowd.
He'll scoot it forward. Now a long pass into the zone. Here's Ross coming in on Ruby. Coming in, he shoots, he scores! Brad Ross goes top shelf for the Komets.
And an individual effort for a beautiful goal. Nice play.
Morrison to the blue line, splits the defense. Morrison with a backhander, save made, and we finally get a penalty. Komets with it. Here's a shot, score! 4-2. Komets cut the lead in half. St. Amant now to Gottlieb, back over, oh, shot, no save, score! 4-3! Komets
Have to skate a second. Beautiful.
The Komets decline another penalty. It was a delayed call. This one, Bryson Martin gets the goal, and the Komets a lot of life. He is going to be hooked. No call. Komets with it in shot front. Score! Score! We're tied! Power play goal! Sarchuk sneaking back behind the D, tries to get it to Sarchuk, and he does! Sarchuk in on Ruby, he shoots, he scored! Oh, Alan Sarchuk, the Polish Prince, ends it! 5-4 Komets!
Trivia contestant is Caleb. He has got his shirt on, he's got his autograph, so I've got a good feeling about Caleb. All right, Caleb, how you doing? How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Still kind of getting there around things, getting over things, but pretty good.
All right, okay. Well, this is going to make you feel a lot better. We're going to do some Komet trivia. The first two questions are the warm-ups. They are pretty easy. They get a little bit harder from there. And of course, on the last one, we give you a little chance to have a little bit more time to think about the answer because we give you the duration of one whole Kaylee Schrock fight to come up with the answer. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Question number one, Caleb. The current coach of the Komets is Ben Boudreau. His dad also coached the Komets. What is his name?
Bruce.
Bruce Boudreau is the correct answer, and he is 1 for 1. And we're switching it up. Kaylee Schrock's bobblehead usually helps me, but we're going with Shafzilla tonight. And he says you are correct. Okay, we're going to stick with Ben Boudreau. Okay, Ben Boudreau played against the Komets in what IHL city?
I believe that'd be Flint.
The Flint Generals. Yes, and you know who else played there? This guy. Danny Shafsma and Ben Boudreau were teammates with Flint 08, 09, and 09 in 2010. All right, number 3, we get a little bit harder, but I don't think this is going to be very hard for you, Caleb. How many playoff championships have the Komets won?
I believe they're at 9.
There are 9. Yes, there is. There is 9 championships. The last one was back in 2012, back in the CHL. So the Komets are due. They are due for another one and our first ever Kelly Cup. But you are 3 for 3, my friend. And we're going to get a little bit tougher here. But again, I don't think this is going to be too hard for you. Who was the last Comet to score 100 points in a season?
100 points in a season.
And the hint is, his number is retired, and it's number 26.
Okay, yeah, that's I don't know. I'm not as good with some of the historical stuff, so I'm kind of at a loss.
Captain, mid-90s, played 10 seasons with the Comets, and that's all I'm giving you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not good with the historical stuff, so.
You want to take a stab?
Well, no, it would have been him. So, I'm just thinking through different players I can remember. So, said I'm not.
I'll end the suspense. Colin Chin, Chin, Comet Captain, 93-94, scored exactly 100 points. So, all right, you're down one. But here is the good one because we give you extra time. You can talk to anybody. You can use the internet. I'm just going to look the other way when Kaylee Schrock is beating somebody up. So what you do with this question is up to you. Okay, and it's always the fifth one is always the toughest one. But again, you will have some extra time. In the last show, we had a question about Steve Janicek. Steve Janicek was the backup goaltender for the U.S. Olympic hockey team, but he played 42 games with the Komets during the Komets in the 80-81 season. Now, another Comet goaltender played for the U.S. Olympic hockey team in 1992. Who was it? Okay, Caleb, do you have an answer for number 5?
Let's go with LeBlanc.
Ray LeBlanc, you are correct. I'm sure you used everything at your disposal to get that one correct, but that's what that is for. Kaylee Schrock beating somebody up. Jamie Shasma approves, my man. And Caleb, you are the big winner. Thanks for playing here tonight.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. It was a good time.
It's time for the final segment of the show. On May 1st, 2010, the Komets were faced with being eliminated from the Turner Cup playoffs by Port Huron, so the Komets needed a win in Port Huron to force a Game 7 back to the Coliseum, and this one turned into one of the most exciting games in Comet history. So here's Bob to take you through it.
Okay, let's get serious here and get something going, huh? We're not trailing anybody right now, but we're going to have to open this period with another power play for Port Huron. 55 seconds of it. Round the wall, back up we come, and it's Szerzynski up to Hodgman. Here goes Hodgie into the zone. He follows the puck. Cyril's still there. At the net, it's blocked. Here we are in front. Chalk feeds it up top, and trying to play fancy that time. As trying to move it was Phillips. He gets away from one, comes back up the wall, sends out the center. Szerzynski's got it there. Cyril sends a lead pass to Hodgman, and Hodgman goes to follow it in the corner. As he's knocked off the play hard. Down they come at the line. Chalk working in hard. Here's Hodgie coming at you. Hodgson into the zone. He's there. He's around. He's poked off. Chalk scores! Chalk gets the goal. Hey, with 5:21 to go. Hodgie set it up. Chalk got it. 14-39. With a 3-2 lead. Look out, guys. Look out. Look out now. I can feel a penalty coming to the Fort Wayne Komets. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. Chewy looks for his man. Try to jam it out of the zone. Back in the corner. At the net. The shot, the save. Scrambling for it. Look out. Trying to wrap. They scored. Bertram couldn't hold his man. So we back to a 3-all tie. Back to a 3-all tie. I could see it coming, and Nick could not get from side to side quick enough. Here we come. Back up ice. It's going to be the Komets. On the way. 2-on-2. Going in is O'Connor. Here's O'Connor. He's out front. Shoots. Hits the post. The rebound. Wide. Oh, he hit the post. Smack on. Wowee. Holy cow. You can hear it clang from here. We're looking at 3-3. Come on, you guys. Let's go. 45 seconds still on the clock. 3-3 the score. Splash and Thomas. Leo for the K's outside the Comet blue line. Leo moves it wide, can't finish it. Here they come out behind the net. Guy Dupuis behind the goal makes the play. Look out. Back up the far wall. They give it away. Down in the corner this time. Trying to make the move was Naranjo. He can't get to it. Here come the Komets. Back up ice. The lead pass is deflected at center ice. Leo got a piece. Take it away. Here comes Flash. Going to the zone. His shot. Save on the play. Flash on the wall. Up it comes to Dupuis. Dupuis is run out by Flash. Picked up instead by PC Druin. He's back up the wall. Coming to center. Here's Leo Thomas back to PC. 12 seconds left. In goes PC. He shoots. Oh, rebound. A shot. Another rebound. PC's got it back. Here they go. Front of the net. Can't play it. Up top, Bertram. Bertram at the net. Score! It's Leo Thomas with a deflection at the net with 2.1 seconds left in this game. Thomas the goal. 4-3 Komets at 19:58. Whoa, baby. They're in a state of shock. They're in a state of shock. Unbelievable. They're going to have a hard time calling penalties with 2 seconds left, aren't they? All right, Chalk ready into the draw as he will go at it. Back to the Fort Wayne defense. Turned wide. Bird's got it. Picks it up. Komets win it. How about that fan? Game 7, Monday night, 7:30, Memorial Coliseum. Thank you, Leo, baby. Be there. 7:30, Monday night. Komets tie the series at 3 games apiece. Wow. My name's Bob Chase. This has been a Komet WOWO Sports exclusive.
We've wrapped another show, and if you've missed any other episode, you can always go back and watch them anytime, and you want to make sure you subscribe to the Komets YouTube channel. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again outside the jungle.